Hi guys, this is the Unemployed Millionaire back again, this time coming from Oslo. Now in one of my previous videos I said I was going to reveal something about the taxman. For the last roughly about the year, the taxman has been on my case. Now I have done nothing wrong. Well, at least in my own brain I haven't done anything wrong. The taxman probably doesn't agree with me, but I don't really care what the taxman thinks or not. So the Norwegian tax authorities have decided that my inheritance, which I received a few years back, suddenly isn't an inheritance. And they are now trying to get basically everything I have to pay for taxes. Now, I am 9th generation through a family business, and it's been handed down all the time. And it's gone to the different members of the family. And I'm no exception. Now, for some reason, someone in the tax department has decided to turn around and say, no, this is not an inheritance anymore because of the way the values have been kept. They've been kept in trust. But they seem to forget that every protocol is being followed, and living in Norway, they don't understand trusts, so they say trusts don't exist. They also have something called Wach tax, which is a 1.1% of your net value every year is taxed by 1.1%. Now, I've been paying that tax whenever I've had that tax to pay my whole life. Now, the situation is such that when I inherited after my late mother, it was an inheritance. So I have not really thought about it in any way or form because there is no inheritance tax in Norway at the moment. So I've basically now got to a situation where the taxman is turning around and I need to fight the tax authorities. And to explain to you how bad this is, I am now technically bankrupt because of a decision of one person sitting in an office looking at some numbers and suddenly changing the law in his own head, because I've always been taxed on my trust, so therefore it's my money. Now they're turning around and saying, well, it's not your money, but we want an inheritance tax on that money. So it never belonged to your mother, it belonged to the trust. Now in my books, and for Norwegians looking at this, you'll understand that that is basically just flipping the coin and saying, well, one lot we're going to tax you because we don't believe in it, and now afterwards we're going to turn around and say, well, we're going to tax you anyway because it isn't your money. So 1 minute it is my money to get the 1.1%, and then to get income tax at 22%, they're going to turn around and say, well, it's not your money, so therefore you have to pay tax on it. And this is basically breaking my back, and with everything else that I've gone through in my life, it's like I'm 52 years old. I was sort of back on top. I had my life pretty much settled and I was going to, just enjoy. And now I'm looking at a situation where the Norwegian tax system is going to break me down. And now I've had every Norwegian criminal around me and con man and everything all over the world. And now the biggest criminal come, and it's the taxman. Now, hopefully, I'm not going to let this go easy, of course, and I'm going to do whatever I can for this to be able to go my way. But I'm fighting against, I'm a tiny little speck on the map compared to the Norwegian government, who've just got endless resources. And of course, they twist and turn as much as they want. But I think it's really bad that one single person in a tax office can turn around and basically break human rights. They want to take everything I have, make me sell one-off items and things like that, which I will never get back again if I have to sell them to pay off a tax bill, which we don't agree on. And I have the 3 best tax advisors in the whole damn country working on it, and they all say that the government is wrong, with the rule book in their hand, and I'm supposed to. And then on top of that, I have to pay the bill first, which I can't afford. And then when it's been concluded, I'll probably get all the money back. But I will only get money. I will lose my home, I will lose my car collection, I will lose paintings and all sorts of things and heirlooms from the family, just because of one person feeling that this is, I don't know if it's jealousy. The lawyers don't even agree on the way what they're doing, because the answer from the tax department is pretty thin. So it's just like, I've gone through a lot, but my psyche doesn't really need to do this another battle. I will do it, and I'm sure I'll triumph on the other side. But they are making me, run away from my family and everything else like that so that I can protect myself. And in a country that doesn't even need my tax money, they give away, I haven't checked this statistically, but just using a little bit of common sense, if they stop giving away money to third world and all sorts of strange and wonderful things that they give money to and support, which is just chucked out the window, I am pretty sure and with confidence that every Norwegian that is paying tax today, if they stop giving those monies away, they wouldn't even have to pay any sort of income tax. Norway has so much money, and they are basically being tyrants against their population and the people that live here. And there are so many people leaving the country and have been doing for the last 3 or 4 years because of the tax regimes, which is a shame. Norway is a lovely country. I'm here now and I'm sitting in my apartment and I've got an absolutely amazing view over the whole city. It is stunning. It's cold and clear and beautiful and everything else like that. And it's such a shame because the politicians and the tax regimes are making so many people miserable, leaving the country. The quality of life, as far as I'm concerned, has gone down. I grew up here. I grew up in different countries, but I also grew up here and have lots of fond memories of this country. But there's no secret that I don't live here anymore very much. In fact, I'm never here at all, mostly because I don't like the weather. But I definitely don't like the tax regime, and I don't like the way the country's turned out. I think it's a shame that for such a beautiful place to alienate its own people because of taxes. It's just absolutely ridiculous. I am in the start phase of the actual battle now because the Norwegian government is saying you owe us X amount of money and it will break my back. I can probably muster the bill, but I will have to sell everything I own, and then I will sell, certain things that I will never be able to get back. Only in the case of that the law is set up in the sense that you have to pay and then complain. Yeah, but they are wrong. And I'm 99% sure I will win the case. But, of course, you never know. Okay, drop it down to 90%. So say I win, how am I going to get my house back? How am I going to get my one-off cars back? Because they've been sold. And yeah, I'll get some interest on the money, and they will probably prolong the process as long as they can. So it's really sort of a nasty situation to be in. And this time, I've done nothing wrong. So when I talk about the tax and the taxman, this is the Norwegian tax government just saying that we do not believe that the money you've received as an inheritance is an inheritance. We look at it as being an income. Therefore, we want income tax. Now, it's different for you people sitting out there that have not paid taxes. You've scammed the tax man by not reporting this or over-reporting or under-reporting, hiding money in crypto, hiding money everywhere else. Those guys, if the government come after you, tough shit. If they could catch you, that's another story. But I'm a completely innocent bystander to this. And if I'd known about the situation, and I would have lived my life very, very differently, and it wouldn't have been a problem because I would have just paid the income tax when I got the money. And I would have been home free, which I've always done anyway. And I preach that you pay your tax, man. And I always have. I don't like paying more taxes than I have to. So, of course, I pay what I have to, and as little as I possibly can, but within the laws and regulations that exist within wherever I happen to be living. So, yeah, I will keep you updated on the tax man. And, yeah, it's a shame. Norway's a lovely country, but the tax man is not so lovely. And a lot of people ask me what's Norway's like. I say it's a wonderful country. It's just got one dangerous animal, and that's the politicians. And of course, the politicians, they are the ones that make the law and the tax regimes. So thanks a lot, Norway. I love you a lot, but hopefully I'll win again, as I've done in the past. But I won't be staying here. Goodbye, and have a great day, great night, wherever you happen to be.